Today we're going to cover the last thing on this Psalm 119 playlist. It probably definitely won't be the last time we cover Psalm 119, but it'll probably be the last video on this playlist. Or at the very least, the last intended video on this playlist. So, we'll figure it out. But today I just want to cover some of the stuff I missed or overlooked in the previous videos. And just basically the overall information of the letters. So Aleph, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the numeric value of 1, and the letter 1 means the unity of God. So the letter Bet or Vet, it is the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It has the numeric value of 2, and the number 2 means the duality of man. The letter Gimel is the third letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 3. The number 3 means the triune nature of God. And Dalet, the fourth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, it has the numeric value of 4. And the number 4 means the creative work of God and also universal truth. Hey is the fifth letter of the Hebrew alphabet and has the numeric value of 5. The number 5 stands for God's goodness and grace upon humanity, and it can also mean teaching. Vav is the sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 6, and it stands for the fallen nature of humanity. Zain is the seventh letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 7. The number 7 means completion, perfection, and rest. Heth is the eighth letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 8, and it stands for new life, resurrection, a new covenant, and new beginnings. Tate is the ninth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it stands for the finality of faith or divine completeness. Yod is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 10, and it means completion. Kaf is the 11th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with apparently the numeric value of 20. I didn't realize this the first time I read over this letter, or if I did, I didn't notice it. We'll cover the number 20's meaning when we get to the 20th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. But for now, the number 11 stands for chaos, disorder, and judgment. And we've also talked about instances where it can also mean alignment. Lamed is the 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 30. Now, the number 12 means God's government, while the number 30 means a person's calling. So, Mem is the 13th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 40. 13 means rebellion and lawlessness, and the number 40 means testing and trials. Nun is the 14th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 50. The number 14 means double measure of spiritual perfection. And the number 50 is power, celebration, and joy. Samek is the 15th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 60. The number 15 means a rest after deliverance. Now, for the number 60, I couldn't get a definite answer on what the number 60 means. As I've digged, it appears to have different meanings depending on the context that it's used in Scripture. One of the meanings that stands out the most to me is how number 60 can be used to represent the choice we all have to make, whether choosing to follow God or choosing not to follow God. That choice that we all have to make. Number 60 can imply that. So the letter Ayin is the 16th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 70. Now, number 16 means love and loving, while the number 70 means human leadership and judgment. Pei is the 17th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 80. The number 17 means victory, and the number 80 means a start or duration of freedom from oppressors. Sadi is the 18th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 90. The number 18 means bondage, and the number 90 stands for saints sifted. Like the word sifted means to be passed through, like the saints passing from this life to the next. So the letter Qaf is the 19th letter of the Hebrew alphabet with the numeric value of 100. Number 19 means God's perfect order. The number 100 takes on a different meaning depending on the context of the Bible. One of which is when talking about it can stand for the promised land. And the letter Resh is the 20th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The number 20 it means a time of waiting, and the letter Resh has the numeric value of 200. The number 200 stands for insufficiency. And Shin is the 21st letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it can also be the letter Sin. The number 21 is the 21st letter of the Hebrew alphabet, but it has the numeric value of 300. The number 21 means great wickedness and sin. The number 300 stands for separation. And finally, the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Tav. It's the 22nd and last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it means disorder, chaos, and disorganization. And it has the numeric value of 400, and 400 stands for a divine time period. The camera turn around so you guys can have a look at the meaning of these numbers for yourselves. I'll just slowly scroll over them, and just feel free to pause if you need to take a moment to read. also been talking about in videos throughout the playlist about what the numbers are a picture of. So also I wrote down what the numbers look like and what they're a picture, the letters look like and what they're a picture of. We'll go through that. So this is Aleph, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The Aleph is a picture of an ox. And with some of these you can actually kind of see it. This is the letter Bet or Vet. Vet is the one with the dot in the middle, but it is not considered a different letter. The letter Vet is a home or a dwelling place. Gimel, the third letter of the Hebrew alphabet, it is a camel. It's a picture of a camel. Dalet is a picture of a door. And here we have Hay, which is a window. And here we have Vav, which is a nail. And here we have Zain, which is a sword. And here we have Heth, which is a doorway. And here we have Tate, which is a coiled snake. And down here we have a Yod, which is a hand or an outstretched arm. And up here we have the letter Kaf, which is the picture of a palm. Now this dot means that we pronounce it with a k, as in kite, and without the dot it's a ch, chaf. And this is another written form of it. And here we have Lamed, which is a picture of a shepherd's staff. Down here we have Mem, which is a wave of water. And this is another way of writing it. Here we have Nun, which is a seed, and here's another way of writing it. Down here we have Samek, which is a shield, and here's the letter Ayin, which is an eye. Down here we have Pei, which is the picture of a mouth. Now with the dot, the letter Pei is pronounced with a P, Pei, and without the dot it's pronounced Fei, with an F or a PH. But it's not considered a different letter. And here's another way of writing it. Down here we have Sadi, which is a picture of a man on his side, and these are other ways of writing it. Here we have the letter Kuf, which is a sun behind the horizon. Here we have Resh, which is a person bent over. And here we have the letter Shin or Sin. It's a picture of a crown. The dot over the right indicates that we pronounce it with a SH, Shin. The dot over the left indicates that we pronounce it with an S, Sin. Shin or Sin. It's not considered a different letter, but it's pronounced with different sounds. And finally, we have Tav, which in modern Hebrew is pictures of sticks crossed. In ancient Hebrew, it looked more or less exactly like a cross. And Tav is also just a picture of a mark in general. And really quickly, I'm going to pull up what Tav looked like in ancient Hebrew. So this is what Tav looked like in ancient Hebrew. Anyways, guys, another thing is some interestingness behind letters is the Aleph Tav, or reversed, because in Hebrew it's the opposite way that we write when we write from left to right. They write from right to left. So first is last and last is first. But this is what translates into when God says He's the first and the last. He's the Aleph Tav, because Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and Tav is the last letter. God's is the first and the last, the Aleph Tav, and this is YHVH, or Yod He Vav He, the Tetragrammaton. This is Yahweh. This is the way we say Yahweh, and it's God's name in Hebrew, and it's what translates into Lord in all caps in English translations of the Bible. And with that, I'm gonna pause right here and then come back with a quick follow-up. I'll try to keep this part of the video short and sweet. Because I'm not positive on what versions of the Bible I'll be using, but I'll probably be doing an overall reading of the chapter Psalm 119, just to kind of close the book on this playlist. But before that, I want to come out here to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes things that went into the making of this playlist and this series, and the things that God showed me while doing it.
How you doing?
All right, you. Got some friendly people on this trail. I've yet to meet an unfriendly person on this trail, so you know that's great. It's wonderful. See, as we read throughout this entire psalm, there was a lot of reminders and pictures of the gospel and what Christ has done for us on the cross, taking the punishment that we deserve, so that we can receive God's grace, His mercy, and so that we can be saved. And it's hard sometimes not to fall into legalistic mindsets that you gotta work for your salvation to maintain it. And it's hard sometimes not to fall into the mindset that God is some angry person sitting on a throne with a lightning bolt in his hands, just waiting for the opportunity to strike you down and to punish you. But it's not what God's like. And sometimes I fell under that mindset, because I've been doing a lot of playlists this past year, and each time I missed one or didn't record when I thought I was when I intended to, I always remembered being so scared that something bad was going to happen. Each time I somehow got reminded by God Himself that that's not how He is, that whenever I mess up or fall short, that's what Christ paid for on the cross, and all I have to do is receive it, to believe in it, to rest in it. And it's amazing that as believers we get to share that Christ does all these things for us, so we can be made right with Him, and so that and that other people can as well. And it's awesome to tell people that God can do these amazing, wonderful things for them as well. And I was constantly reminded that I need grace, and that God's grace is sufficient for me every day when I do these videos. Because a lot of these videos were interrupted by something, whether that be a random situation that I didn't expect, or maybe work lasting longer than I expected. And either that or it was interrupted by a road trip somewhere. maybe an overnight stay wherever that road trip was. Remember, I took 2 road trips with my friend to Huron. It's actually a nice place. And all that was a part of God teaching me that sometimes interruptions happen. And when that happens, He has a plan even then. All right, you. But yeah, sometimes when you plan on doing one thing, an interruption might happen. And even when it seems completely out of control, it's all in God's hands. And sometimes He means for it to happen so that you can do something else for Him. It's like the former pastor of my church and I, we talk a lot. And he says sometimes that things happen where you need to put one project on a back burner. No, not abandon it entirely, but put it on a back burner and come back to it. And a lot of what's happened, like the One Punch Man challenge, it's completely really unrelated to this video, but it's pretty much exactly like that, because I have not finished the One Punch Man challenge. I did a video earlier saying that I was going to do that challenge, but between rail fanning and all this video making, and with my job at work, it was all a one big exercise anyway. So I just got too exhausted and fell out of the habit of doing that One Punch Man challenge. I'm still in shape though, so thank God for that. But sometimes those interruptions are what God uses so that you can do something else for Him, and not abandon. It's not to necessarily abandon or forget what you're doing now. It's just putting it on a back burner and coming back to it and finishing it. And it's sometimes we gotta allow ourselves to receive, God's grace and relief, and to allow ourselves to be flexible and less strict when things don't necessarily work out, and we're doing it with the intention of serving God, and are doing it to serve God, which is why we get upset and scared sometimes when it doesn't work out right away. But God always has that plan, and He's always ready with His mercy, because sometimes He needs that project on a back burner so that you can do something else for Him. Anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to say, and when I come back, I'm not sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a overall reading of Psalm 119 with just one version from the Bible this time. I don't know which one yet. Okay, we're back at the spot where we started, and since this playlist has been about what we find in the Hebrew texts, it would be fitting to conclude this final reading from the Hebrew interlinear. And the app isn't working. Okay, so I guess we'll read out of the New King James then. And when I get back under Wi-Fi, I guess we'll try the interlinear again, and if not, we'll just stick with this.
here we are. Psalm 119. Blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are those who keep his testimonies, who seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. You have commanded us to keep your precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep your statutes. Then I would not be ashamed when I look into all your commandments. I will praise you with uprightness of heart when I learn your righteous judgments. I will keep your statutes. Oh, do not forsake me utterly. How can a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to your word. With my whole heart I have sought you. O let me not wander from your commandments. Your word I have hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Blessed are you, O Lord. Teach me your statutes. With my lips I have declared all the judgments of your mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of your testimonies, as much as in all riches. I will meditate on your precepts and contemplate your laws. I will delight myself in your statutes. I will not forget your word. Deal bountifully with your servant, that I may live and keep your word. Open my eyes, that I may see wondrous things from your law. I am a stranger in the earth. Do not hide your commandments from me. My soul breaks with longing for your judgments at all times. You rebuke the proud, the cursed, who stray from your commandments. Remove from me reproach, and contempt, for I have kept your testimonies. Princes also sit and speak against me, but your servant meditates on your statutes. Your testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. My soul clings to the dust. Revive me according to your word. I have declared my ways, and you answered me. Teach me your statutes. Make me understand the way of your precepts. So shall I meditate on your wonderful works. My soul melts from heaviness. Strengthen me according to your word. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me your law graciously. I have chosen the way of truth. Your judgments I have laid before me. I cling to your testimonies, O Lord. Do not put me to shame. I will run the course of your commandments, for you shall enlarge my heart. Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I shall keep it to the end. Give me understanding, and I shall keep your law. Indeed, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Make me walk in the path of your commandments, for I delight in it. Incline my heart to your testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away my eyes from looking at worthless things, and revive me in your way. Establish your word to your servant, who is devoted to fearing you. Turn away my reproach, which I dread, for your judgments are good. Behold, I long for your precepts. Revive me in your righteousness. Let your mercies come also to me, O Lord, for your salvation according to your word. So shall I have an answer for him who reproaches me. For I trust in your word, and take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth. For I have hoped in your ordinances, so shall I keep your law continually. Forever and ever I will walk at liberty, for I seek your precepts. I will speak of your testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed, and I will delight myself in your commandments, which I love. My hands also I will lift up to your commandments, which I love, and I will meditate on your statutes. Remember the word to your servant, upon which you have caused me to hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, for your word has given me life. The proud have me in great derision, yet I do not turn aside from your law. I remembered your judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself. Indignation has taken hold of me because of the wicked who forsake your law. Your statutes have been my songs in the house of my pilgrimage. I remember your name in the night, O Lord, and I keep your law. This has become mine because I kept your precepts. You are my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep your words. I entreated your favor with my whole heart. Be merciful to me according to your word. I thought about my ways and turned my feet to your testimonies. I made haste and did not delay to keep your commandments. The cords of the wicked have bound me, but I have not forgotten your law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks to you. Because of your righteous judgments, I am a companion of all who fear you, and those who keep your precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of your mercy. Teach me your statutes. You have dealt well with your servant, O Lord, according to your word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe your commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I keep your word. You are good and do good. Teach me your statutes. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep your precepts with my whole heart. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in your law. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I may learn your statutes. The law of your mouth is better to me than thousands of coins of gold and silver. Your hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn your commandments. Those who fear you will be glad when they see me, because I have hoped in your word. I know, O Lord, that your judgments are right, and that in faithfulness you have afflicted me. Let, I pray, your merciful kindness be for my comfort, according to your word to your servant. Let your tender mercies come to me, that I may live, for your law is my delight. Let the proud be ashamed, for they treated me wrongfully with falsehood, but I will meditate on your precepts. Let those who fear you turn to me. Let those who know your testimonies. Those who know your testimonies. Let my heart be blameless regarding your statutes, that I may not be ashamed. My soul faints for your salvation, but I hope in your word. My eyes fail from searching your word, saying, when will you comfort me? For I have become like a wineskin in smoke. Yet I do not forget your statutes. How many are the days of your servant? When will you execute judgment on those who persecute me? The proud have dug pits for me, which is not according to your law. All your commandments are faithful. They persecute me wrongfully. Help me. They almost made an end of me on earth. But I did not forsake your precepts. Revive me according to your loving kindness, so that I may keep the testimony of your mouth. Forever, O Lord, your word is settled in heaven. Your faithfulness endures to all generations. You established the earth, and it abides. They continue this day according to your ordinances, for all are your servants. Unless your law had been my delight, I would have perished in my affliction. I will never forget your precepts, for by then you have given me life. I am yours, save me. For I have sought your precepts. The wicked wait for me to destroy me, but I will consider your testimonies. I have seen the consummation of all perfection, but your commandment is exceedingly broad. Oh, how I love your law. It is my meditation all the day. You, through your commandments, make me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for your testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep your precepts. I have restrained my feet from every evil way, that I may keep your word. I have not departed from your judgments, for you yourself have taught me. How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through your precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I have sworn and confirmed that I will keep your righteous judgments. I am afflicted very much. Revive me, O Lord, according to your word. Accept, I pray, the freewill offerings of my mouth, O Lord, and teach me your judgments. My life is continually in my hand, yet I do not forget your law. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I have not strayed from your precepts. Your testimonies I have taken as a heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. I have inclined my heart to perform your statutes forever, to the very end. I hate the double-minded, but I love your law. You are my hiding place and my shield. I hope in your word. Depart from me, you evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. Uphold me according to your word, that I may live, and do not let me be ashamed of my hope. Hold me up, and I shall be safe, and shall observe your statutes continually. You reject all those who stray from your statutes, for their deceit is falsehood. You put away all the wicked of the earth like dross. Therefore I love your testimonies. My flesh trembles for fear of you, and I am afraid of your judgments. I have done justice and righteousness. Do not leave me to my oppressors. Be surety for your servant for good. Do not let the proud oppress me. My eyes fail from seeking your salvation and your righteous word. Deal with your servant according to your mercy, and teach me your statutes. I am your servant. Give me understanding that I may know your testimonies. It is time for you to act, O Lord, for they have regarded your law as void. Therefore I love your commandments more than gold, yes, than fine gold. Therefore all your precepts concerning all things I consider to be right. I hate every false way. Your testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul keeps them. The entrance of your words gives light, it gives understanding to the simple. I opened my mouth and panted, for I longed for your commandments. Look upon me and be merciful to me, as your custom is toward those who love your name. Direct my steps by your word, and let no iniquity have dominion over me. Redeem me from the oppression of man, that I may keep your precepts. Make your face to shine upon... Get off me. Make your face to shine upon your servant, and teach me your statutes. Rivers of water run down from my eyes, because men do not keep your law. Righteous are you, O Lord, and upright are your judgments. Your testimonies which you have commanded are righteous and very faithful. My zeal has consumed me, because my enemies have forgotten your words. Your word is very pure, therefore your servant loves it. I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your law is truth. Trouble and anguish have overtaken me, yet your commandments are my delights. The righteousness of your testimonies is everlasting. Give me understanding, and I shall live. I cry out with my whole heart. Hear me, O Lord. I will keep your statutes. I cry out to you. Save me, and I will keep your testimonies. I rise before the dawning of the morning and cry for help. I hope in your word. My eyes are awake through the night watches, that I may meditate on your word. Hear my voice according to your loving kindness. O Lord, revive me according to your justice. They draw near who follow after wickedness. They are far from your law. You are near, O Lord, and all your commandments are truth concerning your testimonies. I have known of old that you have founded them forever. Consider my affliction and deliver me, for I do not forget your law. Plead my cause and redeem me. Revive me according to your word. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they do not seek your statutes. Great are your tender mercies, O Lord. Revive me according to your judgments. Many are my persecutors and my enemies, yet I do not turn from your testimonies. I see the treacherous and am disgusted, because they do not keep your word. Consider how I love your precepts. Revive me, O Lord, according to your loving kindness. The entirety of your word is truth, and every one of your righteous judgments endures forever. Princes persecute me without a cause, but my heart stands in awe of your word. I rejoice at your word as one who finds great treasure. I hate and abhor lying, but I love your law. 7 times a day I praise you because of your righteous judgments. Great peace have those who love your law, and nothing causes them to stumble. Lord, I hope for your salvation, and I do your commandments. My soul keeps your testimonies, and I love them exceedingly. I keep your precepts and your testimonies, for all my ways are before you. Let my cry come before you, O Lord. Give me understanding according to your word. Let my supplication come before you. Deliver me according to your word. My lips shall utter praise for you. Teach me your statutes. My tongue shall speak of your word, for all your commandments are righteousness. Let your hand become my help, for I have chosen your precepts. I long for your salvation, O Lord, and your law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise you, and let your judgments help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek your servant, for I do not forget your commandments. And to that, amen. Some bonus footage of the fishing dock from the view of the bridge. God bless you all. Hope you have a great day.